All right, everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the Bear Cave. I'm Smoking Bears. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're going to pull a recipe out of Thug Kitchen Party Grub. Hope you enjoy it. Cheers. Okay, so here's our cast of characters. Looks like a lot, but we're making a barbecue bean patty with a celery seed slaw. So we have our low salt Bayou Bear, olive oil, some soy sauce or tamari, a little bit of liquid smoke, can of light and a can of dark beans, some breadcrumbs, some an onion, some zucchini. We're going to use a grater to grate up the zucchini. We got some cabbage, carrots, salt, celery seed, and rice vinegar. So let's get into this. Okay, first off, strain both cans of beans. Both cans of beans. Boom. Now we want to rinse them. Say what? See that foam right there? You want to get all that off. That's all that stuff from the canning process that we don't want. Now that they're rinsed thoroughly, dump them into a bowl. A good mixing bowl. Okay, so now we have a white onion that I did a nice bear chop on. Now we're going to grate our zucchini. Now what I did is I cut the top and the bottom off. There are two zucchinis. They wanted to be medium size. And we're just going to run them through the grater, just like this. Now be careful because you can cut your fingers. Take the second one and do the same. And that should be about 1.5 cups or so. Alright, so we slid the cutting board back, and now we've got our thing of beans. And you see there, just the light and the dark, and we're going to mix them up a little bit. It's not going to really matter because what we're going to do now is we're going to need to smash them. Now you can use a tater masher, a spoon, a spatula, food processor, whatever you want. Today, I'm going to use a mason jar. Just a small jelly jar. And just smash them. Okay, now to this, you see our bean mixture. We left some of them a little bit whole. Just for texture is the whole reason why we left them like that. So now we're going to add our 1.5 cups of zucchini. Goes right on in. And we're going to do about a little more than half of our onion because we need the other half for our slaw. That all goes in. Okay, so now it calls for 2 cloves of garlic, but I'm using minced, so we'll just kind of guesstimate on that. That looks pretty good. All right, I need a tablespoon of olive oil. It's a half. That's a whole. Need 2 teaspoons of tamari, the soy sauce. Close enough. 2 teaspoons of the liquid smoke. 1 teaspoon of your no salt seasoning mix. I'm using my Bayou Bear because it's pretty low in sodium. And I'm gonna go a little more than a teaspoon. The Bayou Bear is just like a low salt Cajun kind of rub. So now we're going to take about a half cup of our breadcrumbs. This is a 1 cup, so I'm going to use about half of it. Dump that right on in. And now we just want to mix this all up and incorporate it all in there. And scrape the bottom so you get all the mash up off the bottom. Okay, so we got our biscuit pan pulled out of the oven. It's already preheated to 425 degrees. So this thing's screaming hot, so be very, very careful. But what we're going to do is we're going to hit a little bit of olive oil. Just some spritzing, just to help promote nonstick. All right. Now we're going to take our bean mixture and we're going to patty it. We're actually just going to take it, stuff it into this mold, this ring mold. You hear the sizzle, so that's a good thing. Now in the book, they're considered sliders, or you can make them in a big burger patty. So I'm trying it this way, just for something different. I'm going to try to pack them pretty full. Get them all in there. Alright, so the slaw, I went ahead and I ran half a cabbage through the food processor with the grating thing in it, and I put about a 1/4 cup of carrots in there too. Now we're going to add our onion. We'll add our onion here. I thought about running it through the food processor, but I wanted to give you guys a little something to see. Give it a little chunk. Alright, now I have the 3 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar and 1 tablespoon of olive oil going in. Now we're talking about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, roughly that much. Same with celery seed. And we mix. Now, if you don't have a food processor, it's fine. Just go ahead and cut these into strips. You can use a coleslaw mix, which would be even easier because it's got all the stuff in it. Just use a bagged coleslaw mix. Add your vinegar and your oil and the salt and celery seed, and boom, there you go. Alright, so after about 36 minutes, I was checking them, and underneath they just weren't crisping up like I wanted. The top was looking real good, so what I did is I took a piece of parchment paper, laid it on top, put a cookie sheet on there, and flipped it over. and flipped it over onto that and then stuck it back in the oven. This is the bottom side that was inside the cup, and it's still really loose, and I want that to tighten up a bit. All right, so we've been 56 minutes. See how they kind of firmed up? That's what I was looking for. So let's go ahead and get these plated up. All right, so let's go ahead and plate this up. Let's take one of our patties. See how good that's looking. Set that down. Let's take some of our slaw. Put that right on top. All right, y'all. Here's our kidney bean slider with slaw. It's got a nice crunch. A little bit of that slaw. All right, let's give this a taste. The beans don't really taste, I mean, they got the bean taste, but they're not overpowered bean taste because you got the liquid smoke and the tamari in it, or the soy sauce in it. The zing from the vinegar and the slaw really cuts in there and really just helps add to it. The liquid smoke just adds a little depth to it. You don't even taste the zucchini in there, it's just a filler. The breadcrumbs are just a binder. All right, so with that, that'll get me lunches for the week. That was pretty awesome. So get out there, man, try something different. And remember, there's 2 rules in cooking. Did it taste good? Did you have fun? I sure did. Rock on. You guys are awesome. Have a great week, everybody. Cheers.